Contemplating. Mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
Welcome, one and all, to No Sleep, the podcast. I am one of your friends, AJ Simmons. You're going to meet two other friends, maybe a third friend a little later. Can you tell it's not live? You know, it's already falling apart. I am AJ Simmons. This is a comedy podcast, and as a comedy podcast, I'm going to do a couple jokes.
Oh, boy.
Out of the mouths of babes usually comes a bunch of stupid shit. You know?
Yeah.
They're babies.
That's true. I know.
People will say
I know
that
one.
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And then here's another one for us. I don't know if I should be proud or ashamed of this, but since quitting drinking, my life has become identical to the opening morning routine scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Walking around with the morning wood, making the perfect breakfast.
Living this life of illusion. Yeah.
Playing the trombone,
doing various stretch band exercises. Doing the thigh master thing.
Putting your pants in your sock to get on your bike.
That's right. And then head to work at a Best Buy type, store.
Smart tech,
yeah. I finally have the courage to let you know that if you play this Michael McDonald tape one more time, I'm going to kill myself and everyone in the store.
If you play Yamo Be There one more time, I'm going to Yamo burn this place to the ground.
That's it for my jokes.
Okay.
I bet Tom McGrain's got some good ones.
I don't have any jokey jokes, but I told you guys I got pulled over the other day. Uh-oh.
The scofflaw of Des Moines.
The very handsome Urbandale police officer was like, you haven't registered your car for 8 years. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, is that right? It's been 8.
Is that right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, boy, 8. And then he was like, this hasn't been a problem for you? I was like,
Not
no.
really.
He's like, you haven't been pulled over for this? I was like, maybe one time. And I was like, that's kind of the issue. It's sort of been cheaper to never do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I could impound your car right now. And I was like, but you're not going to.
Showed a little leg.
And he didn't, yeah. But he did give me 2 tickets. I couldn't prove. I have insurance. I couldn't prove it.
Damn it.
I was like, I got an email, I'm sure, or the app. The app was like, nope. I was like, fuck. I was like, I really do, but didn't matter. And today, I was going to give the baby a bath. So I got her all necky. And then Everly was like, I have to pee. And she runs into the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And I was like, baby, don't pee on daddy. Blah, la, 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 la. And then she immediately did pee all over me, all over my sweatshirt.
Babies be peeing.
They do be peeing.
Is it that sweatshirt?
It is not. Sarah, it would be, but
Fair
Sarah was like,
question.
you're not wearing that pee sweatshirt. And I was like, all right.
Fine.
Yeah.
Got to look presentable for the podcast.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go.
Does it still? Because I know with like my nephews and stuff, they have the little wiener that can kind of shoot the pee in a certain direction. Does a girl baby pee that kind of?
No.
Gotcha.
It just like comes out.
Gotcha.
You know? Free. There's no aiming it.
I have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah. Girls pee out of their buttholes, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
I should know if it was like a
where the baby
stream
comes out.
Well, that's what you do, you know, when you have a baby you love. You get peed on.
That's right. And that's
And everything else on.
It was also funny how I was just like, well, you just stand there like, yeah, I'm getting peed on. There's nothing. Just kind of like, yep, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a facial, you know?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
true. That would have not been great, but it was fine, you know. And I gave her a bath. That kid loves baths.
That's nice. Little water bug.
Yeah, big time.
You get the little like floaties in there for
The little
her.
floating duck that tells the temperature. So it's got a light on top.
Does that have Wi-Fi in it too?
It probably does. I don't know. But it's, pretty fun.
Dad life.
Yeah, I gave her a bath before the last podcast, too. Oh, boy.
Killing it.
Yeah. Yep. I think Sarah's just like, I'm so hovery. And if she's doing something, I'm trying to get better about it and being like, I think you got to do this and this. She'll just be like, how about you just do it? I'll be like, okay. So I end up making myself more useful than I intended to be by being annoying.
Micromanaging back to bite you.
Yeah. It's happened several times. I'm just like, keep your stupid mouth shut, McGrain.
You're
So I'm
usually pretty
trying.
good at that.
I am. You know, you guys know.
Yeah. I am kind of surprised just because I feel like I'd be defaulting to her so much because she'd already raised one.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But you're like,
Just
Out of my way.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But
I'm
I'm
also
not mad.
just constantly hover. Yeah, and I'm annoying. I can see it. I know it to be true.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
You're invested in this baby.
Yeah.
You're invested.
yeah.
You're starting to take this whole baby
I
thing kind of
guess so.
serious.
This will keep this dumb baby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She's crawling pretty good the last time I saw
she
her.
is. She's all over the place.
Oh.
Army crawls, just one arm forward and pulls herself.
Just make a onesie with little red bullet holes in the back.
yeah. It would be very funny to put her in a little camo and watch her crawl around.
Little helmet with
Yeah.
a playing card in it.
Yeah. Ace of spades.
Give her a little baby
Born to
cigarette.
die.
Little 5 o'clock shadow on her.
This is great.
All right. Yeah. I think we have our first
If she's
baby
not-
sketch.
Yeah, she'll probably be walking by Halloween, so it won't be as funny. But right now, it would be damn funny.
We can get a little
Yeah,
pair of basics or whatever.
yeah, no
thrown
problem.
Little army
fine.
suit.
Just film her crawling. Hilarious.
Some squib packs on her back.
And if you hand her anything, if she's in a certain mood, she'll just throw it. So buy a couple little plastic grenades. Yeah, she'll put it in her mouth first too. Oh, it's perfect.
All right.
in. This is good. A little pro-war propaganda
Yeah,
with
that's
this
right.
baby.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I guess you can cut to Alex Carter.
Oh, I got nothing.
Cut back from Alex Carter.
It is funny. Saturday, chilling, 2:00.
Yeah.
Little Saturday cast.
Yeah,
Sun's out and everything. It's like a real day.
it is. I was like, am I going to be able to park? But it was actually the parking was better than on our normal night, but worse down there. Worse.
Yeah, because I had to park way down there, like past the apartments and everything. I had to hoof it
Damn.
because all this side street was totally taken.
Yeah.
And then I walk out to let Alex in his dirty little Maverick.
Yeah, I'm right
I
behind
know.
him.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I got A+ parking
Yeah.
right outside the front door.
How you liking your Maverick?
Still great.
Heck
Solid
yeah.
vehicle.
I think I'm looking
2 years in.
maybe Maverick, maybe a Hyundai Santa Cruz, maybe a Chevy Trax,
Or
or maybe
a Mini Cooper.
There you go. Mini Clubman. I would. I mean, I don't think that Sarah would be like, "Don't be an idiot." I'd be like, "Well, that's what I was born to do."
You knew that when you met me.
Yeah.
Get a nice Pinto.
Yeah. We were talking about Yugos earlier. Maybe I can find a used Yugo.
It'd be pretty funny.
It would.
Just get one for every family member.
Yeah. Perfect.
There's that mechanic by where the Chili King used to be that I feel like has a lot of those type
They
of cars.
actually.
Yeah, it's like European motors, but it's a bunch of
Yeah,
super old
my
cars.
sister was so curious about a car they had in their parking lot. She stopped at the place and went in and asked them about one of the cars. And they said, I can't remember what the hell it was. And it was one of like 9 ever made.
Whoa.
one of the cars they were working on. It's like, that's fucking crazy. They do have some crazy shit in that lot sometimes. You don't realize, like, oh, they're working on like the truly hard to work on European cars.
Weird, esoteric.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car's from West Germany.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
This car took Hitler to the bunker.
Yeah, yeah. Very odd.
It must be a Migraine thing, like in wacky
Stu,
automobiles.
we buy a lot of dumb cars, and we're known for it.
You like what you like.
It is, and up until my last couple cars I had for a long time, but my first 15 years of driving, I had 15 cars, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
13 of which were Isuzu Troopers.
And two were.
Two.
Yeah. Yep.
I did love those, though.
I still do. I love them. And the second one was I went from 2-door to 4-door with super tinted windows and a red pinstripe.
5% tint, so you can't see up in his window.
That's right. Never worked properly.
Of course.
It's pretty sweet. Who would have thought I bought a lemon from Bob's Auto Connection?
That is tough to believe.
Yeah.
I would think you were making that up.
No,
Bob's
I would
Auto Connection.
on East 14th, baby.
Oh, perfect.
You're telling me this $1,200 car doesn't work very well?
Back then, that was good money, though.
Yeah, it was.
Because I bought the
It
Lumina
was.
for $800,
Yeah.
and that was 2017, I think.
Yeah, we missed the $1,000 cars. They just don't exist anymore.
They do
That was a
not.
whole category of like very old Luminas and strange
like a Dodge
SUVs
Stratus.
they don't make anymore.
When we-
minivans.
That's true,
A
man.
whole class of cars from 25 plus years ago.
When Alex and I were coming up, if you were 18 and you had $500, you could buy a car,
Yes.
and it would work for 6 months.
Yep. Good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Not too bad. Good enough. Yeah. It was something. I missed that. Now a $500 car is a $5,000 car.
Yeah.
And those are almost impossible to find.
And they're all just
It's more like an $8,000
yeah,
car.
it's true.
Yeah.
What a,
Shoot.
The days of getting roadhead in a Dodge Intrepid are
that's
over.
right.
Dodge Intrepid.
I'm just trying to think of like
an ex drove
obscure
a Dodge
90s
Intrepid.
cars.
Yeah. You don't see many Dodge
Ford
Intrepids out there
Aerostar.
either, do you?
No, you do not see.
I always thought my dad had an 89 Lincoln Mark 7,
Oh,
and I was like, these are going to be classics. And now if you see a Lincoln Mark 7, you're like, man,
Yikes.
this is driving one of those is worse than walking on the aqueduct. You know what I'm saying? Like things have gone wrong in your life
yeah.
driving an old Lincoln Mark 7.
Didn't you tell a story recently of seeing a rough-looking person walking under the aqueduct?
Wearing the exact sweatshirt.
And they were wearing the same sweatshirt,
Bear
that,
sweatshirt,
that
yeah.
you were wearing
Yep.
when you saw them.
They sure were. I was like, ooh, you shop at Get and Go too.
Clothes shopping.
Yeah.
Right. And as you drive by, they're like, does he have 8-year expired registration? This guy.
This guy's got problems.
Yeah. I thought I was fucked up. Yeah, that handsome cop must. Yeah, was he bewildered?
He was pretty nice. He gave me 2 tickets, but
He, had to
he
give you
was
something.
like, I could impound your car right now. I was like, that's what the last guy said. I was like, you think I want this? Take it. Yeah, but he didn't.
He's like, why? What? What's wrong
Yeah.
with it? You're like, no, just take
I was.
it. And he's like,
yeah.
you just did reverse psychology on him.
Yeah.
Is this cursed?
There's no way I'm taking this car. Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. He was very handsome, like notably to the degree that I would mention it on my podcast.
Right. Hoping he would see it.
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Like, call me.
Yeah. I thought you were handsome too, actually.
Yeah. Why do you think I have a mustache now, you guys?
yeah.
I was like, damn, working for him.
Yeah. Can I go for a ride along? Gee, mister.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the ticket was for expired registration, I
And then
imagine?
and then no proof of insurance, which I do have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even get the cards for insurance anymore, really. You know?
That's what
It's
I was
all
like.
phone,
He's
yeah.
like, I see the app. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm clicking on the app. I don't know my fucking password, brother. And then I figured out
My
the
handsome
and then
brother.
it was like, this is not. I was
Toll
like,
gets
all right.
really mad with him at that point,
Yeah.
and the whole thing blows up.
Yeah.
I'm impounding this fucking
I
thing.
thought you were hot, but turns out you're an asshole.
Yeah. Just another hot dickhead. Yeah.
You guys are all the same. I've dated a few cops. Yeah.
I remember one time I was pulling in, it was snowy, and it must have been around a Teehee's time. I was pulling into the Quick Trip on Ingersoll, and a cop rolls up and he goes, Toll McGrain? And I was like, what
Jesus
the
Christ.
fuck? I was like, what? So you got a taillight out, and I was like, how do you? I was like, what? And he had just scanned my plates and knew. I was like, this is fucking. It was bizarre.
I don't know
though.
you like that.
Yeah. And that was when
You're not even handsome.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, get out of here, you uggo. I don't take any fucking
Yeah.
guff from you.
Stop trying to flirt with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think there was some chemistry between you and this police officer?
Who knows? I see him.
Yeah.
I'm like, Sarah, how'd you feel about me inviting a cop into the bedroom? He'll bring the handcuffs.
very handsome.
Yes, yes.
Very handsome. I guess it's Urbandale. It's a little nicer out there, you know.
Yeah.
I remember on court seeing a few like looked a little too handsome almost to be a cop type guys.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes you'll see a cop that looks like, I don't know, a normal cop, whatever
Right.
that is. And
Regular
then sometimes
guy.
you're like, are you in a movie right now?
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're all like, you look like you're out of central casting for Super Cop.
Yeah. You look like
The
you're wearing
looks
a
and everything.
There was a
vest,
hot,
and
there was
you're
a
not.
like a hot lady cop in Des Moines. There's probably more than, but I was like, whoa, yeah.
Damn.
If it was a hot
There's
lady
a Red
cop,
Hot Chili
you would have
Peppers
been
song
like,
about
hey,
that. Yeah.
just go ahead and tow my car.
I
with
got
me in it.
stopped by a lady
Yeah.
cop in my automobile. Yeah, you guys know that song?
Got me thinking I could fall in love with a lady cop.
Mm-hmm.
You like
Superman
guys with
now.
8 years expired registration?
Yeah, yeah.
Sweetheart.
Opposites attract. Hmm?
Yeah. She likes a bad boy.
Yeah, I bet your
Yeah.
cop car is registered. Wink.
It's always funny when you see a cop not use a turning signal or something. I'm like,
Or they
I
turn
should
on.
be able to bust you for that.
Yeah, or they turn their lights on just to run through a red light. You're like,
Not to mention the laptop they have right in front of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That they're looking at in their phone while they're
Yeah.
driving. You're like, oh,
X
good.
videos clearly pulled up on it.
yeah.
I'm doing detective work. Got a hot tip. Little two hots.
I wonder if the little laptop, like, is that where they're punching in the plate and
Yeah,
they're getting
yeah,
it back? Because I'm assuming at one point they must have had to call it in. Because you'll see that in
Yeah.
movies from times ago where it's like, you know, Niner, Blue Ski, 5'9", whatever. You know, like they have to tell them the numbers
Yep.
with cop language. Then they're like, yeah, we got a APB out. And what-
Got a code 4 on a license plate.
on a Fiat.
Yeah.
That's what I actually
Seems to be
said.
missing its registration sticker.
Yeah, I
Appears
regret
it's never been
saying.
registered, actually. So.
I was like, I was like, yeah, this little Fiat. Cops don't seem to notice it all that much. And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
I can't believe you
I
fucking
shouldn't have
told him
said
the
that in
secrets.
Urbandale. Yeah.
Oh.
Just gonna fuck-
Now you know on cop shows they always start the day when they're all having roll call and the cops doing the meeting. Now there's going to be at the meeting they'd be like, and be on the lookout for Fiats.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Big
They all think they
Yeah.
we can't see them.
He told me it was the predator of vehicles. I was like, oh shit.
Which was a cool reference,
Yes.
but still.
Yeah.
I see. I feel like at least one or two a week, and I always snap my head around hoping it's you. I get tricked sometimes.
Yeah, anytime I see a Fiat, I just out loud immediately say Fiat biatch.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
That's right.
It was good times when you first got that.
It was.
I wasn't even quite your friend at that point. I was an admirer But
From afar.
From afar, but when you two would pull up with the top down,
Yeah.
like two giraffes, like sticking out of the top of it,
Exactly.
pull up to lefties.
Two giraffes are driving a car.
Yeah.
A couple of skunk apes.
Oh boy. And I didn't realize it's funny because the story kind of starts where I bought the car, I think in like September. So it was only registered for the rest of that year.
Oh,
And all the drunk driving I did from Lefties with Alex right by the cop shop for so long.
She
Whoops.
there were a couple of close calls I remember where it was like,
pull to the gas station.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that's
riding
where-
dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. I mean, yeah, the fact that you only got 2 tickets considering the time that has lapsed.
It shocked the police officer.
Yeah, he had to be shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I mean, at some point, I really was like, maybe he is invisible.
Yeah. I was like, people don't really notice me, officer.
I'm just a little guy.
Yeah.
Stuffed in that little car.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little scamp.
I think it helped. I was like, ooh, I got a baby seat, 2 seats in the back of my little Fiat.
Yeah, you're like coughing.
Like, yeah.
Got
It's
2
like,
kids.
ooh, a 13-year-old Fiat, 2 car seats. This guy's having a fucking horrible time. He's got to go back to the bridge he lives under. Yeah.
This poor struggling father.
Yeah. And my hair was full blown. Yeah. I was just like, grr.
It was a whole vibe.
Yeah. Like, he's like, oh, you got a couple car seats back there. I'm like, yep, but I don't have any kids. I was like, oh, shit. I do have kids. It makes what? I don't know. It's a little looser on
Yeah.
not live days, you know?
Try to improv.
Yeah.
Like jazz.
It's about the jokes you don't tell.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. At the most recent open mic toll, everyone was telling their stories of terrible gigs.
Oh, nice.
Alex, I believe, did not show up, though he was booked to G14.
Yes.
Yes. Which is the classic Alex move.
It was back then. Yeah, I instinctually knew. I was like, I don't think so.
You made the right call. But I talked about G14.
Was that the one in Winterset?
That was the dubstep festival.
Yeah.
It was a
Yep.
dubstep festival, like 1 year only, ran
Or in
by
Cumming.
Cumming.
Yeah,
That's
Cumming.
what it was.
Yep.
Cumming, Iowa. And it was just like on some acreage that this young kid's dad must have owned, but he had a little money and he just like bushwhacked everything out.
Clear to space.
Clear space. There were people camping, but you could tell it was like not quite copacetic because it was like real rough cutting of like hardcore weeds and overgrown things. And so dubstep, multiple stages, and we were performing in a barn next.
It was like 95 degrees.
So hot.
Yeah.
So many beats dropping.
So many beats dropping, Molly being exchanged, I'm sure.
I took some Molly
That day?
after,
I can confirm.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, how long do I need to hang out before I drive home? I was like, I think it's been long enough. Yeah.
My car is only 2 years
Yeah.
expired at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I'm good to go.
How long ago was that?
I'm going to
I
say
would've-
2018. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a decent guess. 2018, 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
It was tough sledding. Because, it's people like yacked out on designer drugs and pills and things like that with glow sticks, but it's not even dark yet. And they're Skrillex type music bumping. And then it's like, hey, so my dad wasn't really around, trying to tell you.
Yeah, a comedy stage at
Yeah.
a music festival is always death.
yeah.
Total
Oh,
death.
buddy.
And at an EDM festival, then
It was a crazy call.
way worse
was.
even.
Because there are some people like Dean Del Rey. I do his website and help him out with some stuff. And he
Name
opens,
drop.
not to brag. Go check out his new special, by the way. It's good. I think it was
You did it in a cave.
Yeah, it was like in a cool cave type
Oh, neat.
thing. Yeah, he's a good comedian. He opens up for Bill Burr a lot. They're good friends, but he opens up for Metallica on the road, which he says are like really tough gigs just
I'm
to open
sure.
up for any band. But I think I would much rather open up for like a rock band than I would a fucking dubstep festival.
Oh yeah.
Just off the
It's not like they were stopping the festival for the comedy.
no.
Yeah.
It
We were
was sort
just
of
in a
in
barn.
tandem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dubstep sounds a lot more fun than comedy
Yeah.
does.
It's hard to do comedy when it's behind you here.
There's always this the show must go on attitude sort of in comedy that is completely fucking unnecessary a lot of the time. Like I did a show, one of my nightmare shows in Webster City at a new restaurant that was 2 double-decker restaurant. So they had like the upper deck that was cut out in the middle so they could look down on our little stage area. And then this whole lower area, this restaurant was fucking huge. It was huge. And we're doing comedy there. Shows, it's like getting close to showtime. There's 4 old ladies there.
Always.
That
the 4 old
that
ladies.
paid $15 a piece. And I was like, I don't want to do, can we just go home? Like, can we please just not
Cut
do
our
this?
losses.
Yeah. We'll give them each. We'll give them their $15 back and just leave.
In fact, I'll give them 20 each to not do this.
Exactly. And no, of course not.
If one person's there,
The
baby.
guys I was with are like, no, we're doing it. And I was like, and they were fine. And my buddy that was headlining did his 45 minutes for 4 old ladies. And I was like, all right. I was like, and they were fine. They were having fun, but it was just
Who name the people you were with?
Ben, Mark, Joel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ben.
Because
Ben
Ian
headlined.
Pope told an extremely similar story, but different comedians.
This was way early on.
Oh, yeah.
Early
This is
aughts.
when we even had, there was a nickname for the group of guys I was in. I can't remember what people
Poison
called us.
Roses.
Because we did all the out of town shows for a while there.
Yeah, like a little squad,
Yeah.
2 live crew.
That people were like, no one else would put us. It's like,
That is the move
yeah.
in comedy scenes everywhere. Is if they won't book you, you book your own shit.
Yeah.
dog.
Oh, yes. I love to see it.
And it is a weird balancing act of like the gatekeeping in comedy as someone who ran a club. It is weird and tough because you do. If you're running the show, you are taste making it a bit, and so it is kind of your right.
And you're
to
making
choose.
a good show.
Yeah,
You
like
want to
what
have the
you
best
see
show
as a
you
good
can
show.
possibly
Yeah.
put together.
And so you feel bad leaving people out. So I never, poo-poo people going out and doing their own shows, but sometimes there is a signal from the world as well of like maybe there's a reason why you're not. being put on shows.
It's not because
Yeah.
everyone's a bunch of haters.
No.
I'm so good, no one will ever book me. It's something no one has ever said and been honest with themselves.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like there's a lot of people in booking of comedy shows that are putting on people that aren't even ready yet. But
Absolutely.
it's a way to incentivize people to keep going.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, there's way more of that than the opposite of like cold shouldering hardcore
When I started, it was not like that, but it's become that over the years.
of kind of
Like just giving people a chance.
Yeah.
Like people that may not be ready for it, just throwing them up there.
yeah. I mean, I remember my first chance, and I appreciate it. I mean, it was 5 minutes on like a New Year's Eve show at Java Joe's when that was still a place. They had that little side room, and I went up, and I was very nervous. I had like 5 Red Bulls beforehand, so that probably didn't help. But I think I did my 5 minutes.
Just Red Bulls?
Yeah, I think I would. I wasn't.
What a great idea.
Yeah, I wasn't super healthy at the time.
I mean, there wasn't vodka in them? That's
No, I think the beer situation was pretty expensive at Java Joe's. I think.
Yeah.
And I was pretty hard up for cash, but I don't know if it was 5 Red Bulls, but I had a lot of Red Bulls at the time. I was like, this will put me in the zone.
Yeah.
This will make it all work.
Meanwhile, I blew through the set in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So many guys, you guys want to hear about this? I did a story the other day, and then
Leaving no room for laughter whatsoever.
Sometimes you don't need it.
Yeah.
You know?
They just want to hear everything as fast as possible.
they're just here for the information.
Yes. It's a little debriefing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done Albia twice, if I remember right.
I finally did Albia. I had a fucking great time.
One of the times
Killed.
was great.
Yeah.
Then the other time, there's some sort of beef, I was told at least, between Albia and Oskaloosa.
Oh, yeah.
A little rivalry. And so some Oski boys showed up, and they didn't take kindly to my material, even though I have nothing in my set about Albia or Oskaloosa.
I had some Matumbo shit in my set, and they ate it up, baby.
They know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's right.
But I got hit with a cup of ice
Oh,
at that.
I remember this story. Yeah.
They were like, "Fuck you," and I think they got
Wow.
loaded like before the show, and then like polished off a mixed drink, and then hit me with the cup and the ice.
Yeah.
What was it that you said? Do you remember what set them off?
No, I don't remember the material because it was all. This was when I was way more like jokey.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
really nothing to be much offended
No,
by.
that's what I'm wondering.
It was very, very jokey. I think they just weren't having
Sometimes in
They
those
just weren't
small
having
town
it.
shows, no, and we know. I mean, we know Box Home,
Oh,
baby.
baby.
Right. That's our personal 9/11
You get into
Yes, that
some,
was D-Day.
slash D-Day.
some of these small
all
towns,
rolled into one.
and it gets to be like, well, I never heard of you. Like, oh yeah. Well, you think you can do it and I can't do it?
Yes,
like,
yes.
all right.
One of
Like,
these
I mean,
Yankees.
Yeah.
One of these
like, yeah,
Yankees.
I'm funny too, man.
One of
Like,
these
all right.
highfalutin Yankees.
Yeah.
Yankee
yeah.
City boys.
Yeah, city boy. You come from a city of 500,000 people, I hear. Like, yeah. I
That's
know.
including Ankeny. but
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Box Home, it's that same thing of I think that small town mentality. You work so hard to be some kind of center of attention in a
Yep.
small town. You're the guy who fights everyone.
Right. You're the guy that fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Everyone
Best darts
is the
player.
master of something
Yeah.
in the small town.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you're getting a little too much attention, they don't like that.
Yeah, they sure don't.
And a handsome boy like me up on stage.
Oh, your good city looks.
Yeah.
There ain't room for two bald fellas in Box Home.
No, sir. And that show, I knew pretty much right away we were in trouble. I had hopes that it would kind of turn around. 'Cause sometimes a rowdy crowd can be switched.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can get them back and ride the wave instead
That's
of
right.
have it crash on you over and over again, which was the case at that show.
Correct. I remember, I believe it was Annalie went up,
Oh, that was
and they didn't take kindly to
Very
a lady with a
uncomfortable.
microphone.
Yeah.
they
I,
sure didn't.
And then Darius went up, and some guy in the back was like, "Slow down, Barry White."
Yep.
And I was like, "Okay, now we're really in trouble."
Yep.
And then I think a few different comedians, including myself, were like, "I hate you, motherfuckers."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt especially passionate about that because, like, a lot of those people I knew because they're kind of boonish people
Yeah.
who came over to Box Home for the show, and I'm like, "Why are you here ruining this for me? You already ruined a good chunk of my life, you know."
Fun show. Fun show.
But it's great. I mean, it's important. Like when Teehees first started, because I was in the mix early on for like that first 6 months or so, helping run it with Sid and Josh.
Yeah.
And so I watched people start under the tutelage of a club, which was something that myself and no one else had really had before.
Yeah.
Last Laugh was like kind of a comedy club, but it was more of like an improv joint.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so having such a home base and watching these people like do well, mainly kind of in front of their peers and people who they knew, you know, in their mind killing because they were getting
They're like, I
any
did
li-
it. I figured it out.
Yep.
Here we go.
And then unironically saying that they were like ready to headline shit and things.
yeah.
And I'm like, you all need a couple Box Home shows
Yeah.
under the belt.
You haven't done enough small town bowling alleys to headline
yeah,
yet.
correct. You haven't done
Yeah.
enough shows with like TVs playing sports
Yeah.
all around you.
We got to turn the TVs off. We will not. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
All right. We'll just proceed then.
Yeah. I mean, even we did that show at Groucho's. I believe it was us three plus some others, right? Not that long ago.
Yep.
No.
And there were people playing like the giant VLT machines in the background.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, like a
Ding,
foot,
ding, 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 ding.
foot and a half away.
Like slot
Never
machine.
looking away, except for the
Yeah.
one guy that kept yelling. It was heckling everyone. He was
Yeah.
trying to- he couldn't handle the everyone stealing his sunshine.
You dropped
Yeah.
something pretty hilarious on that guy. I can't remember.
Oh,
what it
you
was.
did.
Oh yeah, because there was one of the
Something about pigs.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big VLT machine that this very drunk lady and this very drunk guy were just enamored with and talking loudly about, and they acted like we were fucking up their time. You know what I mean? While trying to run a show, and every once in a while there'd be some sort of reward or incentive thing that would pop up that was pick a pig,
Yep.
and
That's right.
That was the theme of the machine.
the theme of the machine was like pick a pig, and I think I had said I was like, that's what I'm going to be doing after this show tonight.
That's so funny. Yeah, it was good. Oh, the room fucking exploded
Yes.
too.
But they were
It was
lying.
good.
They were surly, but laughing.
You did you roasted the room while with something in the room.
Yes.
Oh, what a
Nothing
move.
better.
Yeah,
It's a
what a
real
move.
pro
Yeah,
move right there.
And I've had about 4 of those in my entire comedy career.
Yeah.
Those are like the little crowd worky things I wish I could always have.
One of them, when you were wearing that cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't, but yeah, I remember.
I wish I still had that.
I don't remember what the
I
things that
know.
you said exactly, but I do remember like the exploding of rooms. Nice.
I don't even remember that one with the cowboy
Yeah,
hat.
I do.
I remember wearing it, but I lost it that night, unfortunately. and I went to like, Boots R Us or whatever those, Western Edge.
Western Outfitter.
Yeah. Got my hat. God damn. I'm still getting booking emails to the Teehees account. I thought you all would appreciate this one. This one came in just this morning. Terrific booking email. Name Daniel Armstrong. Email
Oh, no.
fuck with a Q you n-words at gov.net.
Jeez.
That's
Phone number 911. Expectations for pay, all of it! Exclamation point.
Oh, nice.
So I think I'm gonna book that guy.
Yeah.
he came to the
good.
mic like maybe a year or 2 ago.
Oh, this
and
is a real person.
It's a real insane person.
I thought it was like a fake name. maybe.
And and then he started dropping all sorts of N bombs all over the place.
Oh,
Just went
okay, so this is
full
par for the
nuclear.
course.
Yep.
Okay,
that's what he does all the time.
Wow.
I have a park he'd enjoy.
Yeah, have you been back to that park?
Oh, no.
Luckily, you have a few to choose from.
There
I
is,
guess.
yes.
You got a good spread out there.
Yeah.
You got to get Alex over there. Check it out.
I do.
Yep.
We're
You'll
going
be
to have
impressed.
a big housewarming.
Ooh, there you go.
I was like, should we have like a separate housewarmings? Do comedy for friendly friends? I don't know. And I was like, should we just have one big housewarming? I don't fucking know.
It's a big enough house that you could do
Yeah.
it.
Just have a rager. Invite
Yeah.
everyone. Mm-hmm. Tell everyone to bring 3 friends.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good little backyard, too.
Yeah. Lots of concrete. We're going to need some patio furniture maybe today.
Nice.
God
Mm-hmm.
damn.
We should get a picnic table. Mm-hmm. There's big plans.
Yeah.
You go to Home Depot.
Yes, it might go to Home Depot later.
Yeah. Bed Bath and Beyond.
Pretty good little Saturday, actually.
So domesticated.
I kind of am Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
You're going to get your muscle car out in the front.
the Fiat with
Yeah.
the hood up.
Yeah.
She's not exactly street legal.
That is true.
Actually, she's 100% not street legal. Here I go again on my own.
That's what the song was.
Yeah.
I remember.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Every once in a while, I'll wake up, and I don't know if it's like what I ate the day before or how I slept, but I feel like my vocal cords are just on fire, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Where I'm a singing motherfucker.
Oh.
Like
Just hitting all the notes.
Yeah, like I just have an extra octave of range for some reason. And then other
Yeah.
days it's just a bag of shit. I don't know, what the deal is.
Oh.
Very temperamental voice.
I'm still dealing. We were talking about the Albia show. An old friend of mine was at that Albia show, whatever, last summer, or I don't know when it was. And he's like, your voice seems higher. I was like, hi? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I remember your voice being a lot lower. Seems higher. I was like, I don't know. And he just kept saying it. And I was like, is my voice? Now I think about it all the time.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, what? No. Yeah.
Me?
Not me. Yeah. I'm going to try to talk like this. Mhm.
You have a pretty low voice.
That's what, yeah. I was like, I don't think it's higher.
I don't think it is
I
either.
don't think, yeah.
We have started getting a few Seth Rogen comments on YouTube, by the way. I knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah.
But we've received 2 or 3
About me,
about your voice being Seth Rogen.
I assume.
Do you see that, Shyla? Like, were you someone who thought that when you met Toll? Like,
Talked about it a lot. So.
I mean, I also used to have, when 40-Year-Old Virgin came out,
Yeah, it's
I had the goatee that he had in
Chin
that.
beard.
Yeah.
Be honest.
And I sounded like him. I was a little bit heavy. I don't know. I looked more like him then.
yeah.
I suppose.
Kind of Seth.
You used to
Rogen
get it
vibes.
all. Like when I
used
first
to
met
get
you,
it. It would be
constant.
like
It was constant.
It would be every single, especially a small town show.
Yeah.
Like,
Just immediately. Oh
was
man,
so
you know who
good.
you sound
Yeah.
like? I'm like, here we go.
Has anybody ever told you? I'm like, yeah. Well, yeah, they have about 10,000 times. Yeah.
Did it annoy you, or is it a?
At first, it didn't annoy me.
It's kind of a compliment.
And then it did kind of annoy me, and then it didn't annoy. It annoyed me when I found out he was a little bit younger than I was by like a few months, and I was like, oh,
a few
fuck.
months.
Yeah,
That makes a big difference.
it makes. I mean, yeah. I don't know. He was succeeding in his early 20s, even his teens, I guess.
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Way back.
So.
Yeah, but he was a very popular guy for a while, so
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing.
Still is. I've been watching The Studio on Apple TV.
How's that?
At first, I was like, you're not going to make me sympathize with the fucking head of a Hollywood studio. But he makes him look like a big enough asshole that actually you're like, oh, they actually did a pretty good job of, he's kind of an oblivious shithead a lot of the time as well. So I thought they were just going to try to make me feel bad for somebody running a fucking Hollywood studio. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm not going to. But it's actually pretty good. And they do it. They try to do it. They're trying to do like all kinds of fancy filmmaking techniques while they're making it.
Huh.
And getting on a ton of celebrity cameos, like Scorsese's in the first episode. And they talk about the long tracking shot from Goodfellas. And then they do long tracking shots throughout the entire show.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Did you ever see Birdman?
I did.
Wasn't that kind of known for being
Yep.
a big tracking shot?
Yep.
Is it good?
It is good. Yeah.
Is that Inarutu?
That is is that Inarutu or the other Mexican guy? I think it is. It's
Someone with a different name. I remember that.
Alejandro, the Revenant guy.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Was that who's the other Spanish? There's Guillermo del Toro, Inarutu, and a third guy that did
Alfonso
Cuarón. Yeah.
Cuarón.
Oh.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, might as well. So
Let's watch a clip.
Shiloh, let's go to the clip, shall we?
Do-do-do-do-da.
You guys ever hang out in the sewers as a kid?
Inarutu.
Of course.
Yeah. You ever seen a grown man naked?
Well, when I was living in South Carolina, I don't know if their sewer system is sort of set up a bit different, but there would be kind of these perimeters around the bases that sort of came, I guess, almost like a ditch, but it would be concrete on all sides, and there'd be like the stream of sort of water.
Yep.
Of sewage
Yeah.
that's heading somewhere, but then it would head into like these tunnels that you could, especially as a kid, you could basically stand
Yeah,
up in
yep.
and walk straight into. Hung out in those a lot
Oh, there was one of those in Beaverdale.
with my friends.
Yeah. We did that.
It's cool.
There was one if you went down to Beaverdale Park and followed the stream, and then it led to this tunnel, and we were like, ooh, and you could see all the way through it, but it was a long ass ways, and you go through it, and then you'd come out basically at the Harding Hills High V.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be like, whoa. We'd be like, oh my God. It was,
we did it.
Yeah.
We're Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And it felt like you went through on this fucking like sneaky journey
Yeah.
that you didn't really go, but it was like
Kind of did though.
fucking mind blowing.
Yeah.
And then you'd go because it was kind of the neighborhood was slightly worse. They'd have like you remember those plastic jugs? They were like barrel shaped with the metal lids of juice.
Oh yeah, it's like cool.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah, like just colored,
Oh,
like
yeah,
red
yeah.
and blue and yellow. And they have those for like 5 cents. And we'd be like, we made it. They'd be like, who? Oh! And for a quarter, you could get 5 of these jugs of sugar water. And we'd be like, yeah!
Refuel.
You know?
Yeah. Valhalla.
Yes.
We're like Lewis and Clark over here.
Yeah.
We need some supplies.
Yep.
Yeah, it really felt that way. Like, I remember I had like it was pretty dark in there and drippy and creepy.
yeah.
And I had from Halloween like a little. It looked like a pumpkin up top, and it was like a little black stick. But you turn it on, it was like a little pumpkin.
Oh yeah,
lantern.
yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Looking
yeah.
at the walls,
Hell yeah,
Yeah. Then we come up with like little gang names for our squad.
for sure.
I wish I could remember any of them.
Nope.
Oh boy.
I wish it was something like the Poison Roses, like what you had,
what-
but
So we took the best one.
because what was the protocol for the gang? It was like
You
belt
wear
loops.
you put your thumbs through your belt loops. That was it. So you walk with your thumbs through your front belt loops and strut.
The funny thing is, I read the
Shred.
book. I read the book "Gangs of New York" that the movie's based on,
Yeah.
and they describe a lot of those gangs from back then. And that is basically how you would tell a gang apart.
Yeah.
'Cause they put their fingers in there.
Right.
They wear a tall hat. They put their
Yeah.
hanky like this. They wear it's all just dumb shit. And a Poison Rose. That sounds like
Yeah.
a
The Dead Rabbits.
1840s fucking street gang in New York
sure.
City.
Yeah, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
Getting in fights at the
What are
Bowery
I can
Boys.
only remember the Dead Rabbits, Bowery Boys.
Yep.
So, I can't remember any of the other gang names.
Oh God. The Poison Roses.
That's right.
The Stinky Foots.
Oh, I was an honorary member of that gang.
Shit.
Shit.
I've been trying to. Oh yes, this upcoming week, UFC in Des Moines for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not for the first time, but the first time in a long time. Alex is going. You say with your sister and or your brother.
Brother-in-law and my wife.
What are the
and her
big
brother.
fights?
The main fight is Davison Figueiredo, a Brazilian fighter, against Corey Sandhagen, the Sandman.
Oh,
Pretty cool. It actually is a good fight. Should be
nice.
high action.
Yeah. Be sold out, you think?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
I would
imagine
be surprised
Des
if it
Moines,
wasn't. Yeah. It's a big deal. Hasn't been here in the modern era of the UFC.
Right.
No, yeah, I think I looked back and it was like 2003 was the last
Wow.
time they were here. So.
It was at Coconut Joe's.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still shocked that they brought it in. Same thing like when Drake came, because I remember he went and took a picture with the Drake University
Yep.
sign and stuff. It's even as an Iowan, I'm still shocked that we get some.
I
of
think
those big ones.
we've got the arena, and we're between Omaha and Chicago. So, and we're kind of, if you're going to Minneapolis you would take the shortest way would probably be Des Moines and then up.
Yeah, pretty much every tour goes to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then Kansas City or
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis
Yep.
or Omaha. And like, just let's squeeze Des Moines in there. Let's break
Yeah.
them off a little.
That's why it's
something.
always on like a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. They just squeeze us in. Like, thank you. We're trying to have fun here.
Here, I don't want to be totally offensive, even though I am a lot of time. But yesterday,
don't wanna be.
Yesterday, I was driving home from work, and I was like, "Ooh, I see all these ding dongs walking around." I'm like, "Oh." I was like, I wonder what's at Wells Fargo tonight because there's a lot of fucking country dorks walking around. And it's not, whatever it is, it's not new country. This is some old country.
Waylon
and I
Jennings.
got home. I go, Sarah, do you know what's at Wells Fargo tonight? And she's like, no, I don't know. I was like, oh, I was just curious because I saw a bunch of dweebs walking around downtown. And then some time passes. She goes, I found out who it was. I go, who was it? She goes, Brooks and Dunn. And I go, oh, yeah, that's right. Ma Maria,
Brooks.
yeah,
Boot Scoot Boogie.
that's right. And I was right. That's all. That's the point of that
Are
story.
they Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy?
That-
No, that's
no,
Big and
no.
Rich.
Big and rich.
Yep.
Same
Big and
era.
Rich, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
No.
The old 90s country bangers.
Yeah.
The 90s were a strange time to be a teenager because the most popular music was upcoming. It was like gangster rap and then Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Those are the two huge camps. Everyone loved Aerosmith and all that shit, but
Right.
it was hardcore rap and big and rich
Pop country.
pop country. Crazy.
Well, and Garth Brooks, I think the last time he was here, he sold out Wells like
He stayed
5 times.
and then he would he just kept selling it. So he's like, I guess we're going to do another show. They did like 5 shows, all sold out
that was wild.
over like the course of 2 weeks or some shit like that.
I would never buy a ticket to Garth Brooks, but I bet I would love a Garth Brooks show. just because I grew up with all that fucking.
Dude,
must
I
have seen whether
remember.
you
liked it or not.
I remember when my sister was pregnant with my niece, and my sister was my biggest musical influence. Also, happy birthday to my sister. Hope you're not listening to this, but happy birthday. She got pregnant and then started listening to Dwight Yoakam and Garth Brooks, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, this is the worst thing that could ever possibly happen." But it turns out, if you're going to listen to country music, Garth Brooks and Dwight Yoakam,
Pretty good.
You could certainly do worse.
You do worse.
And as I get older, I'm like, oh, all the so much dumb shit I used to hate. I'm now like, this is the best.
Right.
I love all this dumb shit I used to hate.
It's like Steely Dan.
Yeah,
for me.
exactly. Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
Steely Dan is only for old dads that
Yep.
hang out in garages.
Yep.
Now I love
Then
it.
you look in the mirror one day and
Yeah.
you're like, well, there
Am
he
I
is.
reeling in the years? Yes. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Snowing away the time. Yeah.
What was that? Because I was still a bit young to like, I was culturally aware of Garth Brooks, but I wasn't listening to the music.
Yeah.
What was
Can I tell
that
a joke real quick?
alter
Yes.
ego?
When
that
you were a
did?
baby, they were going to call you Girth Brooks. Thank you. I got a joke in.
Yes.
10 pounds. Yes. Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah.
All right, proceed.
Yeah.
This is our son Girth.
Is our son Hoss.
Yeah. That'd be a tough name.
Yeah.
The skinny little wiener.
Yeah. My girth's okay.
It's right where you want it, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I consider my penis utilitarian. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not for show, it's for go.
Yeah. I named my penis Brooks, and sorry, I'm done.
Can I borrow that vape over there? Thank you, sir. That'll help my girth.
What's a who?
That'll help my girth.
That's right.
Famously, yeah.
That I don't know if you saw. I posted a little gallery on my social media for my birthday.
I did, yes.
I love that the picture of me and my mom because I'm like this. I'm long and fat, which is hard to be boasting.
You're girthy.
Yes.
You're girthy, baby.
Yeah.
I take up a lot of her body laying on her. That poor woman.
That poor woman.
God bless her.
That poor woman. Yeah.
She sent me maybe the sweetest message ever. By the way, I'm tempted to not even share it because it's so sweet, but I will. I will. Yeah, 'cause she told me, "Have a great birthday, love you," and I said, "Love you too. Thanks for raising me from a big fat baby." And she said, "You're welcome." Spelled the wrong way. You were my love of my life. You were so wanted. Oh, isn't that very nice?
Very
That is.
She was singing a different tune when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
singing a different.
She was pretty sick of me by then. But I feel like a big fat baby would be kind of fun once it's out of you. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Little tank.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure. I'd be, popping it on my head all the time and stuff. Doing it raspberries. Just like we do now,
Yeah. Lift up your shirt, Toll.
All right, give me a toothpick. 'Cause he has hair in his teeth.
Yeah. We talked about a little bit of that with Bulver pre-podcast of like the body hair arc of some people. Did you ever go through that? Like, did you ever try to like shave up?
I shaved my chest once. It was fucking. I was like, ooh, yeah.
How many razors did you go through?
I did the bing and I did the full blown, fully,
Shaving cream.
and it was fucking horrible. I would have been I probably wasn't as hairy then.
You were
as I am
13.
now. No, I was hairy enough. I also thought somehow that shaving my chest would make me look ripped, which it.
All this hair's getting in the way.
Yeah, everybody, all
My
the ripped
physique.
dudes. Yeah.
It's obscuring the muscles.
And I was like, ooh, now I look like a fat, bumpy, red baby.
Yeah.
Talk about Girth Brooks.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so itchy for so long.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's tough.
It was fucking horrible.
I did it for years in high school. Well, I'd keep the goodie trail, but I would shave the chest.
Was it fully manicured too, like a straight line?
Yeah, it was like a nice little landing strip. That was all the guys, like all the dudes. I swear. It seemed
I know. It's just hilarious to think about.
I grew up in like the real world Hollister model kind of era, like very much Jordan Creek Mall kind of era.
Oh, not me, buddy. I used to lay out in a Speedo, and birds would land on me and make a nest in my pubes.
Hey, what? Hey, get out of here.
Me? Just hanging around.
I don't know if I've told this story on this version of the podcast, this era, but the time I tried Nair.
Oh, man.
I don't think you have on this podcast.
Yeah, let's get that on the camera.
Because my dad is a pretty hairy guy. And he's a guy who has like back hair, front hair. He looks like Austin Powers, basically. You know, when he pops it off, it's just,
right.
You're hairy, like animal. So I knew I was, at least at the time, I assumed I was destined for something similar. And I did start getting, like chest hair and everything else. And then I don't know if it was porno or other guys my age, whatever, because you start sharing information about stuff like that. But my dad must have been experimenting with Nair for men, which is just Nair with like Axe
in
body
a blue
spray.
bottle.
Yeah,
they just put 4 men on the label.
Yeah. They make it look a little more masculine.
Yeah.
But my dad must have tried it or been trying it, and I saw it underneath the sink one day. And
Interesting.
How about I just deal with no more shaven pubes?
Yeah.
Problem solved.
I'll just give it the old once over. On
Yeah.
But I didn't read the directions, and I left it. I left it on for like 45 minutes.
Oh my God!
Where I was like,
someone cooking a ham.
Yeah.
Smells like science class.
Is there a fetal pig somewhere?
And I wiped it off, and like all the hair came off with it. And then I think more stuff came off.
Just start sloughing off.
And it was like very red. Everything was red. My little weenie was red.
Man.
Awful. And then it just looked like I had the most insane case of herpes you've ever seen for like 2 months.
Man. 2 months?
Oh, yeah. It was like every pore was like infected.
Boy.
And, oh, it was awful.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't go to a doctor or anything, though?
No, I was very
wouldn't have
scared,
either,
though.
yeah.
I was ashamed.
Oh, yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
It really didn't even come out. I don't think I ever even admitted it out loud until like our first podcast.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, well, got to take it to the stage.
Right. It's so funny to think stuff that used to be embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be so embarrassed. Oh, my God. My life, I was embarrassed for like being sweaty,
Oh, yeah.
And like just and now nothing is embarrassing, really.
Yeah. That's the nice part about getting older.
It is.
You do care a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're young and you see some old guy and his hair is all disheveled and half fallen out and he's wearing a shirt from like 30 years ago, you're like, look at this fucking old guy.
Yeah.
But then the older you get, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta do what was
yeah.
up.
that's where I'm headed and I like where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not even going to brush my hair.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I've started caring about more. Like, I think just because I feel like genetically, my family gets like grays fast, and I think our skin kind of ages a little faster than maybe some. So I've upgraded like the skincare regimen, but everything else, it's like I think this is the most comfortable I probably would have ever been, like being naked. If I had to be naked in front of like strangers,
Right.
I think now I would be like the most cool with it.
Here it is. Look out, everyone. Get your cameras out.
Yeah.
Feast your eyes.
All right. Naked cast next week.
Yeah.
Perfecto. I'll just wear socks and Crocs.
That's for the best.
Yeah. Croc on the cock.
That's right. Cock croc.
Shiloh's loving this shit. But it was nice to like not like, yeah, not hate your body as much.
Yeah.
Maybe some people don't have to go through it. But even like when I was my youngest and tightest,
Yeah.
Your tautest.
my tautest, a hot boy.
That's probably my tautest like 5 years ago.
When I was a hot young boy. I feel like that was when I was the most self-conscious, you know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
despite being in the best, least hairy shape I've ever been in.
Yeah. I mean, in high school, yeah, I was a handsome boy in high school that was walking through the halls, looking at my feet, not getting laid, which I'm glad for now, but I wasn't
Real character
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think your timeline, I think makes much more sense to me in hindsight than mine.
I think I have the
Sexually.
preferable. Yeah, the preferable. I would rather have it later than have peaked. Not that you peaked in high school.
Oh, I
but-
did.
But to
It is funny when you actually see someone that peaked in high school. Like years later, you'll run across them. You're like, wow.
yeah.
You are a fucking wreck. And you were like an Adonis in high school. Like
Yeah.
I can look in your eyes and see that old face, but only because I knew you for 15 years. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, damn, you really did it.
Colin Quinn.
And that was me, folks.
Colin Quinn had a great line about something like that. I think it was about Robert Kelly, where he was like, "You look like a great, sexy, handsome, hot guy baked inside of a pie." Inside of a nice pot pie. You just have to cut the crust away, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think I'm on my second win now, where the losing the hair early, kind of going through like the Ron Howard phase, young, that was tough sledding.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But you got it out. You got it out in the first act. You know.
Yeah, and now it's I think they call it like looks maxing, like on TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff. Where basically it's like you just take it's the polishing the turd like theorem.
Looks maxing.
Looks maxing.
AKA polishing a turd. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, where you just
people.
take what you got and you just amp it as best. You know, you hit the gym.
That's
you
all
do
anyone
this.
can do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where it's like I think I've found where I can fit in this next chapter of my life.
Right.
Where it's like I think I can look like a regular guy in his 30s or 40s now.
Yeah.
Where it was a little tougher when I was like mid 20s bald.
Yeah,
you know what I
Right.
mean?
yeah.
Right.
You've grown in your looks.
Yes.
You caught up with them.
It was a huge setback at first, but now we're in the black.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now we're talking.
You made those payments.
That's right.
Paid the interest.
Put my looks on layaway for a while. I did after Klarna, Afterpay, and now it's coming home to roost.
There you go.
That's right. I paid 98% interest on it.
It was a high interest rate.
That's why it took 20 years.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for the beard. You know, the
Yeah.
beard goes a long way.
I shaved my beard off last night.
Looks
Me
very
and the
clean.
lady were gonna have a special evening,
Oh.
but before
Sexy stuff.
the 6-year-old went to bed, Sarah was like, "I'm just gonna go lay down," and I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Wake me up after she goes to bed." I was like, "This will be." I was like,
See you in the
"There's-"
morning.
Yeah, I was like, "This is you're kidding yourself. You're kidding me. Like this is inappropriate." And then I went there. I was like, "You want to wake up?" Or and she's like, "Yeah, just give me a second." I was like, "Well, I was gonna take a shower. Do you want to wake up? You know, while I'm showering?" She's like, "Just come wake me up after you shower." I go, "Are you kidding me?" And she's like, "Yeah, just." And then I went.
Just
I
come
took a
out hog
shower.
drawn.
Yeah, and I should have done that. Then she would have woke up. And then I went after the shower, and I was like, "Huh? Time to wake up?" I was like, "We could just do this tomorrow." And she goes, "Let's do that." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I knew it was going to happen." I said, "Tomorrow you can't go to bed before we do that or with
Certain
anything." Yeah.
deeds.
Not even, you know, just watch.
If we're buying
TV or
patio
whatever.
furniture, we get
Yeah.
sex.
That's a fair deal.
Yeah.
It's a fair deal.
That's a great. I'd take that.
I'd take
Yeah.
that deal.
But so I did. I took a shower and I shaved, and I'm like, "Oh," and there's these 2 red spots. I'm like, "Oh, those aren't zits." I'm like, "Ah, what fresh fungal disease is this on my old man face?" And I don't know, but it's something.
Interesting, because I was actually thinking your skin looks pretty clear.
Oh,
I see the little bumps, I guess, but
Yeah.
that could just be ingrown or
I
something.
don't know what those are, but
Get a little sunshine on them, they'll probably buff right
Yeah.
out
Yeah, sunlight is the best disinfectant, they say.
that's right.
to facial fungal
Yes.
fungus.
I have had face fungus in the past, and it was unpleasant. I thought it was. I was like, oh, I got like a zit coming in. I had a little bump on my head. Whoa! I was like, ow, and it hurt. And I treated it with all this stuff, and it kept getting worse.
Then a
and worse.
mushroom popped out
And
of your
then
forehead.
I had a fucking the lump. I basically had ringworm on my face.
Yeah.
Is what happened, and then I had to treat it with antifungal cream, which is the shiniest stuff you could possibly put on your face. So I have this huge shiny red spot.
Check it out, everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Got a couple of
It was
shiitakes cooking
crazy.
up here.
yeah. So I'm actually a zombie. You guys,
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Yeah. Last of Us.
Yeah.
People love shiny red boils on
They
their face.
do. They do. They do.
Well, that's what my acne is like now. I've talked about it before, but it's pretty rare that I'll get like a straight up whitehead, like puberty type
Right.
pimple anymore.
Yeah.
It's
the fun ones.
It's like a deep seated cystic bump that gets no whitehead, hurts like a motherfucker, and then just this giant lump, and then
Yeah.
it goes. But it takes like 2 weeks to get rid
Yeah.
of. Unbelievable.
Fun stuff.
It's old guy zits.
I've got like a permanent one. I've got several that need to be like surgically removed because they just refill. You know, good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably should go get some moles checked out too. That's something I've never done, but they say you should.
Yeah.
Have them looked at. Because I got lots of
Misshapen.
freckles and moles.
yeah. I have a couple of I shouldn't say this but I have a couple of misshapen black ones on my back that they probably need to get checked out.
Pop the shirt off. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Analyze on the podcast.
We'll have Dave double check.
Yeah, Dave probably would know. Speaking of which, everybody, put good vibes towards our boy Dave.
Yeah.
He's not having an awesome time.
Oof.
You may have noticed that he's not been in our
The
peanut
news
gallery.
desk hasn't been newsing.
No.
No, we miss him. Miss Dave's laughs.
But if you do miss him, then check out his podcast. Dave's gonna die,
Yeah.
which is great.
They have a very similar setup.
Yeah. Stole our look. Yes. Stole our whole shit. Yeah. But he is having a rough old time. Shiloh's checking in on him a lot. She's kind of the au pair or whatever.
Oh yeah. He's buying you some patio furniture.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Tonight's the night. Dave has a little mustache when she shows up. I'm going to go shower when I come back. Does Sarah like the mustache?
Yeah. Sarah's got she might be on the spectrum a little bit. She's got a little facial blindness going on sometimes. She won't even notice right away. She did notice today.
Huh. I was talking to, I believe it was Shiloh just recently, where I must have the opposite type then, where I feel like I always notice if anything changes on anyone.
Yeah.
Like even the slightest like little hair adjustment or whatever. Even if I don't say it, I just always notice it. I notice the stash right away.
Oh, nice.
right
No.
away.
So that might be a different type of autism.
Might be.
Where I think it's like, don't change.
Yeah.
Vigilance or something.
Yeah.
Hypervigilance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I am very vigilant.
And also definitely on the spectrum. I'm on a different spectrum as well, AJ.
You sure are.
Yeah, I think everyone in this room, I think it goes safe to say.
It's a
Yeah.
real rainbow.
It is.
Yeah. Because it's, nowadays we just have the categories and words for everything.
Yeah.
When I, growing up, I was just one of them kids, you know?
My mom said yesterday that I don't remember why I went. Oh, I just went over there with the baby so she could hang out for a little while. But she was like, I kind of realized as I got older that I probably had ADD. And I was like, yeah. and she's like, and I think that's when I realized that you had ADD. And I was like, yeah.
The old ADD doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, it does not. It's like, yeah, and it's not because I'm certainly not hyperactive, but
No.
if I don't want to do something, good luck. So, I don't know.
Do you think it's more helpful for us to have the words for these things, or do you think it's like?
I
think it's addicting sometimes, almost, to be able to like categorize yourself.
I also think that everyone out there, we've all just said it, and everyone is self-diagnosed with something now.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily great.
Yeah.
But I think it is great to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
But also,
Kind of cuts both ways.
yeah, for people to be like, well, I've got this and this and this. Like, how do you know? TikTok? Like,
Took an online quiz.
exactly.
It was irrefutable proof.
Right.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It also told me which Harry Potter house I'm in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hufflepuff. I
Yep.
couldn't believe it.
Yep. I have stage 4 liver cancer. Yeah. And I'm a Gryffindor. So
I think I'm going to make it.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
The Sorting Hat told me I was going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder because I remember when I, in my early 20s, first going through like starting like psychiatry and therapy and just trying to figure out what was going on with me because I was just having like crazy panic attacks.
Right.
Which felt very physiological, which they kind of are in a way.
Right.
It's like a fight or flight response. But basically, like my accelerator was stuck open. So I was like fight or flighting all the time. It basically felt like.
Yeah.
And I remember early on, I would just spend, every night like on these forums of other people like me or that had similar symptoms than me, talking about it, reading about it. Where at a certain point, it felt like it was diminishing returns because I was like obsessed with how I was feeling about it versus just trying to live life a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was the root of me bringing it up, asking if it was better or not. Because sometimes I'm not so sure because times that I've categorized myself as like one thing or another, I feel like I also limit myself in that way too, of being like, oh, because I'm this, that means I just can't go to like
I totally feel that. But I
or-
also feel like I think about, you listen to enough podcasts with enough famous people talking about how they went on their journey or whatever and made it to wherever. And I'm like, well, I'm like, it's kind of, I feel like it's unfair because it's like an excuse. Like, well, there's a reason I am where I am and I only have the job that I have is because my fucking brain doesn't work. But also, am I using that as an excuse to be like, well, my brain doesn't work, so I don't even really need to worry about it.
Right. Because you should always try, I
Yeah.
feel like. Even if it's like against your nature.
Right.
Yeah,
Because if I did everything that was against or with my nature, I would be dead.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
And I would have been, I don't know if I'd be dead right now, but if I went with my nature, I would most certainly be dead. But there's also, like, if I was thinking about this the other day, if I had all the money I wanted to do, like I didn't have to go to work, what would I do with myself? What would I do with all my free time? And the honest answer is, probably watch a lot of TV. You know what I mean? Where it's like I could be doing something worthwhile, but I'd be like, ooh. Even if I had a deadline, like now you got all the time in the world, do all the comedy shows you ever want to, and 3 months from now it's gonna be the biggest comedy show you've ever had, motherfucker, and it's gonna be fantastic. I'd be like, that's amazing. So I got 2 months and 29 and 4/5 days
Right.
before I have to start getting ready for that.
Right.
You know
Start
what I mean?
hammering it out.
Yeah. And that's how I operate, where everything is at the last minute all the time, no matter what.
You need that pressure.
Or even, it's really like, it gets to the point, and then I'll be like, have a big show on a given day. Like, man, I think I need a nap. You know? Like I can't, like I'm so, like I feel
rest
like,
up.
I feel like a nap would really get me ready for this big show that I haven't prepared for at all. I'll get the juices flowing,
Yeah.
you know? Or earlier, a couple years before that, like, woke up at 5:30 a.m. on the day of the big show. Like, I got some hours. I should have a rum and diet, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Get that juice going.
Get the wheels greased.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But there's also where early on in my comedy career, people were convinced that I was funny because I was drunk
Yeah.
and would encourage me to get as drunk as possible.
I mean, there's something. It's the Chris Farley thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being a wreck is kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
But that's diminishing returns too.
Mm-hmm.
Because your brain no worky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
when when you're totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I mean, obviously I'm still in the psychiatric world as a client.
Right. That's I think I have a block where I never do that. I never go to a doctor. I'll never take care of my brain problems.
It'd be fascinating for you to go into like
Yeah.
a therapist or psychiatrist.
We have to trick you into it somehow.
I know. Sarah's trying her best.
Just to talk about it. I mean, it goes a long way. I'm sure there's some people that don't love CBT or like talk therapy or whatever, but even just from the podcast and talking with friends and stuff, the amount of difference I feel about any given thing before and after talking about it out loud with anyone,
Right.
never mind like a professional that kind of has my best interest. I mean, it's crazy how much I'm like cool with something after I talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if it's
I
just
think
in my
it'd be
head,
great.
it's nightmare town.
Yeah.
But it's also the idea for me, it's not the issue. It's not doing it. It's setting up doing it. It's having to be like, call the psychiatrist and set up an appointment and be like, well, if that's part of it, I'm not into this. You know what I mean?
Call.
Yeah.
I have to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, they should call me. You know? They want me to get fixed. They should call me.
Yeah, it's kind of on them.
Yeah. The mental health professionals should be getting in touch with me. Yes. I don't know.
Well, if you're out there and you're a mental health professional, get a hold of Toll.
Yeah. If you're out there and you're a mental health professional that listens to our podcast, you know what?
For some reason,
You can stay out there. We're helping you.
Yes.
Just kidding. You can call me.
Yeah. You might wind up there sooner than you think, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you've made a lot of positive changes.
Yeah. That struggle with. I mean, yeah. But it is. What am I even saying? I don't know.
I mean, almost every time I'm getting ready to go to therapy, I'm like, I could reschedule,
Yeah.
There's times I'm definitely not chomping at the bit or exercising or anything. I'm almost never chomping at the bit for that.
Right.
But it's sort of that showing up is a big part of it type of thing.
Yeah. Exercise. I need to get back into that. I brought my weights over to the new house.
Ah.
Free weights. Got to get maybe a chin-up bar, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I should start lifting weights again. And then I try to grab something away from me and my shoulders like, and I'm like, ah! And I'm like, oh, my vape is just, and it's 2 inches away from me. And I'm like, can't quite grab it.
Let me get those weights out.
Yeah.
Could you, so say the Patreon blows up as it's likely to at any point,
course.
patreon.com/sleepdsm. Could you just go into a doctor, like insurance or not, and be like, this is my friend Toll. We collectively have this large check, golf tournament style,
Yeah.
500 grand or whatever,
Yes.
750 grand maybe.
We have this, yeah.
Can we just, give them the old refurbish?
Yeah.
Like, would they do that?
Tune 'em up.
Yeah, kind of, being like, can you just come in and ask for surgeries like that? Or
I think
You
probably.
can do like a full body scan and they'll tell you everything.
right?
Yeah.
I wonder. I feel like they would, right?
Take a giant check to South Korea. Be like, hey, I want to look like Brad Pitt. Here's $7 million.
Like, we just needed 10 grand.
yeah.
This is Korea.
Yeah.
This is generational wealth. Oh, right, sure. Let me get a different giant check for you.
Yeah, let me go get my. Yeah.
My giant checkbook. Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. you're flying to Korea with the giant check. Like you have to get a seat for the check on the plane. Yeah, I feel like they would do it.
I think a
They'd
lot of
brush you
people
up.
would. Yeah.
It'd be nice because I do think I think I have a tear in my hip just
Yeah.
from like track and it probably started as something small and then just terrible posture and whatever else over the years, not stretching.
Yeah.
Because, so I'd be interested to get that taken care of if possible.
Damn, I couldn't believe it. Several years ago, my mom got hip surgery. That fucking day, I went to visit her that day after she got it, and they're like, "Okay, now you're gonna stand up." I was like, "Jesus Christ!" They just replaced her hip today, and they're having her stand up.
Did you do it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was fucking crazy.
He's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
had to like,
Yeah.
had to work it in a little bit.
That's impressive.
it is truly impressive. I know the surgery. I know like shoulder surgeries, the recovery is miserable, from what I've heard. And
Super
it's
long
like,
term, I
yeah,
think, too.
yeah,
Use it for a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to imagine I've done some wear and tear
Yeah.
at least on some of these things.
Yeah, my body's basically just holding together with like bread bag twist ties.
Yeah,
It's not good.
Yeah, I'm
like
just wondering-
Jacob Marley in the fucking
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there'll be a time, before 2100 that you'll be able to basically just like step into a photo booth type thing and they just give you like a rejuvenation cycle.
I would imagine that's probably the futures. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see it going that way at least.
Yeah.
You put $75,000 in it, which is
I think
like
we'll
$10
see
now.
Yeah.
a future. I think in our lifetimes where super wealthy people are living like 500 years,
That's what I'm thinking.
and the rest of us are going to be like,
yeah.
"What the fuck?
What about us? They're like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, what about you stinky motherfuckers?" And
we
like,
have to pay for Life Prime.
Yeah.
And then that's all included. You get
Yeah.
the whole upkeep package for your body. Like, well, that's $75,000 a month. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know what to tell you.
Guess you have to get the
Better go-
bronze
yeah.
package.
You have to go with, we can get the ad version. There's
Yeah.
ads in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure already there must be some amount of differential between like an average lower middle class age range and then like a blue blood old money, and there must be a disparity between those life expectancies.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
I have to imagine.
Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump is still alive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
He's had like multiple.
Oh, yeah. If
heart
those two guys were
replacements.
poor, they would have been dead 30 years ago,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to imagine that gap's going to continue to go nuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Areas of the deep south where the real poor areas are also the most unhealthy. Like they just go hand in hand. Not good.
They say having money. I mean, I saw a study thing. This was also on TikTok, but that just like basically just being more comfortable in life, period, makes you healthier.
Yeah.
So just having slightly more money, you're instantly a little bit healthier than you were before.
Just the stress,
Yeah.
like the cortisol levels.
Yeah.
You're not living off jugs of orange sugar water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I look at myself, like I think about my hair and like the gray hair and stuff, surely genetics plays some kind of role. But I feel like the genetics is also the same thing that makes me, face an entire family-sized bag of spicy Dorito, spicy nacho Doritos.
Yeah.
It's all genetics.
It all just kind of leads me there. The genetics of my family teaching me that rocks led me to this point.
It's a trap. No way out.
Until this podcast gets going.
Yeah.
That's my golden ticket.
That's right. I saw another TikTok that was very disappointing about trying to make it in showbiz at any level. This is an author, and he's like, this is a graph from Spotify. So it's a triangular graph. He's like, the bottom here, the biggest part by far, He's like, these are all songs that have been listened to, that have been uploaded and maybe never listened to, maybe listened to once or twice. And he's like, and then the next one is the next biggest chunk of this triangle. And he's like, these are all the songs that have maybe been listened to like 12 times. Huge chunk there. And then he goes up to the next one. He's like, these are the songs where people have made a few cents on Spotify. And he's like, oh, but I just want to make a living. Like, I'm not trying to get rich. Like, you just want to make a living. And he's like, that's all up here. These are the superstars and the people making a living in the top 0.0001% or whatever. And I was like, that feels good. It's good to know.
We're all listening to Hot to Go, and that's it.
Yeah.
10 billion listens, and like, fuck all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're a Pink Pony
top
Club
of it.
house
Yeah.
in Urbandale.
Sure.
We do listen to some Hot to Go, of course. But,
Of course.
but the Pink Pony Club is where it's at.
Girl dad.
That's right, buddy. I'd be listening to that song on my own, though. I'm going to keep on dancing.
Do you think it's like a herd mentality thing? Because, you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, I've met tons of talented musicians who could like write a song, create a song. Obviously, there's elite talent in anything you could possibly go into as a career. But I feel like there's a lot of, like, I've heard local bands that have put out great songs where I'm like, why doesn't this one just catch a little fire?
It's so, there's so much luck involved also, even at the highest level.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think, you know,
Timing and luck. And
you don't think there's great actors or great comedians in Des Moines? You know what I mean?
No.
But I mean, great is a
Not
strong
one.
word. yeah.
Pretty all right.
yeah. But you know, it's just also like there's a guy I'm friends with recently on social media that does so much complaining about comedians with money. Like, we get it, dog. They have the upper hand, which, yep.
Yeah.
That's true in every aspect of life, my man.
Yep.
So,
This is not new.
yeah.
More money, more resources.
Yeah. I mean, you can just dedicate more time to the thing you're trying to succeed at.
Yeah.
That is mathematically how, you know, they have the chance to be more successful than you do.
Yeah. And well, even just the psychology of, like, I feel myself as I'm scrolling through stuff, I'll see something that has a ton of likes already, and it's preemptively making me be like, oh, well, it must be pretty good then. Yeah. But then I see something that maybe has like a little bit of steam going, but then suddenly I'm more choosy about the like.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's the weird thing to me, where I feel it's psychologically playing in myself.
If I'm being choosy about a like, I say, ooh, did Alex or AJ like this?
I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'll co-sign on this.
Yeah. Like, then I'll be like, it's okay. This one's all right.
It's our own podcast post. So
I like all of those.
Yeah.
Every single one.
trying to get in the algorithm.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not going to
party
hurt
started
it.
here.
Yeah. Can't hurt.
Yeah. I like every single one of those, buddy.
Yeah.
On all platforms.
It feels like even in my head, when I try to analyze it, I think there is something of a fear of liking a thing that doesn't go big too, where it's like you want to be in on it on the ground floor almost. But it's also hard because then you know everyone can see your like or whatever.
I liked something yesterday.
Being real vulnerable here, liking this post.
I know.
A friend of mine posted something yesterday, and I liked it, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to be seen liking this.
Yeah,
because it was a woman.
I can't consort
It
with
was
this
a
person.
woman talking about how a double standard for men, and like, basically she showed two videos. One was a mom with a messy house, and all the women responding were like, yep, that's just part of life, you know? And then a dude with a mess, and all these women being like, disgusting, leave him now, or whatever. And I was like, yeah, see? Dudes are gross, and it's okay. And I liked it, and I was like, ooh, I don't want to, maybe this is sexist, I guess.
Can't be associated with this type of content.
Yeah.
Trying to clean up my
I never want to, like, I don't want to be caught supporting dudes in the wrong situation. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be, or like every single podcast, I'm like, I don't think I said anything that will bother me tonight when I go home from the podcast. And then some time passes, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did. Yep, I did a bunch of stuff. yeah.
Slipped right out.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and it's fascinating to me too, because it feels like right now we're in a space where every normal person is treating their own social media and public image like politicians used to.
Yes,
Right.
It's your craft.
That is
and-
totally
And politicians are now not giving a shit about
Yeah,
their
right.
public
Yeah.
image.
That is true.
Which is
Yeah.
so weird.
That is
Yeah.
weird.
Or even thinking about likes, where it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to have other people know that
Right.
I liked this thing, because what if this goes sideways? Or what?
Yeah, I don't want people to see me liking this lady getting fucked by a dog. You know, I want to like this on my own.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have anything to lose already, so it's like, why do I even care?
I don't. Why we
I know.
care? Social media is the downfall of society.
Yeah.
But please,
Follow
like
us.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, please.
Yes. We just want to get our cut
yeah.
before this fucking shit goes down, okay?
If only one of us, like, I feel like we need to. Maybe I need to just start, because if you have just the slightest bit of celebrity, your podcast is
Bing bong.
good to go.
You need to get out there this summer, Toll, and do some sort of Haktua type
I do.
scenario.
Man on the street.
Get viral, and then everyone will listen
Dude,
to our podcast.
have you seen the longer version of that,
I think
of
so.
Haktua?
I don't think so.
Those girls do not want to be getting interviewed at all, because it's like a creepy dude on the street just basically trying to get their numbers.
Oh.
That's what all those dudes on man on the street interviews with hot college girls is like them trying to get numbers on the street.
Right.
Anyway, they clearly don't want any part of it, and it goes on for minutes. And then then she's finally like, "Oh, spit on that thing," and then
on
she
that
gets super
thing.
famous. Yeah, in no time. Tried to capitalize off the fame, but someone
And she
else did
did.
it before her. It was an interesting story, but like she did manage to a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, going from talking about giving sloppy toppy on the street
Yeah,
to like at least making a couple million. It
Yeah.
appears.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good comeback. Even if it ended like now, which it kind of did, I think.
Yeah, then she meme coined herself out of existence. Whoopsie.
Still a pretty good run.
Not bad.
I've said at least as gross of things as that.
I know. So I'm
Many
saying we gotta get
times.
out on the street and get in some
Yeah.
sort of scenario.
What is the male equivalent of Haktua?
Thumb in the butthole.
Like, yeah, I blow my nose on it and slap it.
slap that thing? Am I right, everyone?
Yeah,
Thumbs down.
yeah.
You've been blocked from social media.
You've been blocked by Shiloh.
No, I'm just saying. I don't think. I mean, spitting. I guess you can
No,
spit
I know
on
what
it.
yeah. I'm trying to think what they.
It's best not to think about it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, dive deep. Figure it out.
yeah.
Yeah, please.
Haktua. Yeah, so
But there's not a gross thing that you could say about doing to a lady that all ladies would be like, hell yeah, we love it. You know?
yeah, but like flicking the bean is kind of like a Haktua adjacent phrase, but that's more. I feel like ladies say that about themselves. Like
Yeah.
they say that they flick the bean. I don't think that's something a guy says.
Also, that's not really gross.
No,
Like-
Haktua isn't really that.
Is
gross.
it isn't really, but it's like something that ladies
We're
don't
open-minded here.
talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's why it went so viral, because a young girl openly talking about hawk-tooing,
Yeah.
where
It's just funny. Like, just
Yeah.
say, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's the perfect phrase from the perfect person. Again, it's all timing and
Yeah.
weird-
and all
weird
dude,
things lining
every
up.
dude is like, oh yeah, we love that.
She said, "Spit on that
Yeah.
thing," right?
Yeah, but
Love
you can't
it.
be like, yeah, slap it with my penis or whatever. They'd be like, like there's not, because
When the cops come and take you away.
yeah. That's all. Double standard.
Next
again.
week we'll figure that out.
We're gonna think on that one.
Yeah, we'll chew on that for a little while.
The female
Chew on
equivalent of
that thing.
Hawk
I think that's it.
That's chew on it.
Yeah.
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 I'll bite the shit out of your pussy.
Chew on that thing.
Ladies love it.
Ladies love it.
Mm.
I would take the internet by storm.
We got it. It's on video.
Shiloh, cut that up. Get that clip going.
Super aggressive.
Like a fucking rat terrier, baby. Chew it up.
That's how you got your baby girl right there.
Yep.
God damn.
Make a little sandwich out of it and gnaw on it.
You got to make the sound too.
Yeah,
They
no,
love
I
it.
do.
They love
Yeah.
it. We're really figuring stuff out today.
Never mind. You know what? I'm gonna withhold that.
Wow, editing.
Yes. Well, folks, I think that's a great place
Whoa.
to land this no sleep airplane. You know
Yep.
what I mean, Shyla? Shyla got a little dirty with the script today. What's going on with you?
Daytime pass. I don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
Shyla woke up late and
She panicked.
crunched for the notes to.
Wow.
Crazy. Wow. Borderline perverted.
Oh, I can't believe we're calling this episode Pussy Sandwich.
Chew on that thing. Folks, make sure you chew on that thing tonight. Be sure of it. Black Cat ice cream, as always, for your dairy and non-dairy treats. Venmo at Tobo Cop. He's got some patio furniture to buy, folks.
That's right.
Let's help him out. He's looking for a gazebo.
That's right.
Trampoline would be kind of cool, too.
Oh, tramp. Those are dangerous.
Those are a little dangerous. Especially when Uncle AJ comes over and tries a double backflip on it.
Yeah.
Both knees bend the other way backwards. Explode.
After you convince everyone he used to be semi-professional on the trampoline.
That's right.
He's doing it again, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't let him do it. He's going to hurt himself bad.
Lands head first into the springs. Yeah, Uncle AJ died there. Yeah. What else? Tobo got patreon.com/nosleepdsm. A great way to support the pod.
Black Cat ice cream.
Oh yeah, Black Cat ice cream. Like, subscribe, follow us on social media.
Very important social media, guys.
Very important.
Get $1 off if you say Pussy Sandwich.
That's right. With promo code Pussy Sandwich, you will get
The official chew on that thing merch.
Yes.
Yeah, put some peanut butter in there. Wow.
It's like one of those Kong. Like, treat the butthole like a Kong chew toy. Put a little medicine and peanut butter in there. Go nuts.
Like
Yeah.
a puzzle.
Something to think about. Something to think about. Thank you, Shyla, as always, for the writing of this show, as well as the live production. I've been AJ Simmons, your dutiful liege.
And I've been Toll McGrain.
And I've been Alex Carter.
Goodbye, folks. Thank you.
Bye.
Fucking AJ, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic.